For more than 50 years, the Frankfurt Zoological Society has dedicated its efforts to conserving nature, animals and wilderness.
Our activities are as diverse as the challenges we face on the ground worldwide. We're currently involved in major projects in 18 countries on 4 continents.
And it all started with this man, Bernhard Jimek, director of the Frankfurt Zoo and president of the Zoological Society. He brought the wilderness and its wildlife to millions of German living rooms during his television broadcasts. In 1959, he became famous around the world with the award-winning documentary The Serengeti Shall Not Die. His commitment to the Serengeti was the basis for a close relationship between the FZS and Tanzania's National Park Authority, TANAPA, which still exists today. Protection of the unique Serengeti ecosystem remains a central part of our mission.
I think if we all pull together, if we all work together, the Serengeti will still be around for our children to appreciate.
The Serengeti is a jewel among the world's natural heritage sites. We are doing all we can to preserve it. Virunga National Park is another such World Heritage Site and home to the last mountain gorillas. The FZS supports the park and its rangers, who are totally committed to protecting wildlife and nature under extremely challenging circumstances.
It's an incredible privilege and the sacrifice that the rangers have made, and we have an obligation to do absolutely everything we can to help them protect the gorillas for today, for tomorrow, for future generations.
Monell National Park in southeastern Peru is one of the few remaining regions on our planet that we call mega-diverse. Many of the park's countless animal and plant species have yet to be discovered.
The east slopes of the Andes and the adjacent Amazonian lowlands where we are now are the most biodiverse areas on Earth. These forests are still home to uncontacted peoples of several different linguistic groups. And it's these reasons combined that make it so important that we find a way to preserve this vast wilderness area that remains in southeastern Peru.
The FZS supports the national park with practical help and advice. For 20 years we have also been monitoring the park's giant otters, probably the best-known inhabitants of Manu's rivers. School children have come to love the otters and see them as a symbol of their home country. Another positive result of our continuous environmental education efforts. In the forests of Bukit Tigapuluh on Sumatra, we face a very different challenge. We are attempting to save the last remaining lowland rainforests from logging and conversion into oil palm plantations, because these forests are the home of tigers, elephants and orang-utans.
Unfortunately, human pressure on the habitat of orang-utans has increased. This is why they depend on a handful of people who are trying to prevent the very last remnants of rainforest being cleared. Otherwise, in future, we'll only be able to see the orang-utans in zoos.
Bukit Tigapuluh is a success story. This is where orang-utans that were illegally held in captivity are being reintroduced into the wild. In their jungle school, they are prepared for their new lives in the forest and learn how to behave like wild orang-utans. To date, about 150 animals have been returned to the wild. Today, we are intensifying our efforts to preserve the forests, the home of these great apes. The FZS is not just supporting nature conservation projects on the other side of the globe, but also in our own backyard. For example, the Hohe Schrecke, with 7,000 hectares of untouched deciduous forest, a natural jewel right in the middle of Germany.
Here in Europe, we now have only tiny patches of wilderness left, natural habitats with a very unique diversity of species reliant on large, natural, intact environments. And we must preserve this biodiversity.
If we want wild animals like wolves and lynx to return to Germany, then we must strive to create wilderness. Many challenges lie before us, at home and abroad.
This is why it's essential to take conservation work seriously and form international partnerships to ensure the preservation of nature.
Please help us protect the world's last surviving wilderness areas.